The letter also raised particular concerns about using teachers' predicted grades for small groups of pupils, but leaving larger groups reliant on the algorithm. He said that this would lead to unfairness in the system, and that was, of course, the biggest platform of unfairness of them all. And that's why I don't know quite what question to ask you this morning, because that is palpably outrageous. Do you know, we toyed with the idea of asking you this question, but I overruled the producer on the grounds that 1 hour of self-appointed comedians ringing in to make sort of jokey speculations wouldn't necessarily delight us as much as it could. But what does he actually do all day? If you're the Secretary of State for Education and you get a letter from a former Director General of the Department for Education warning you that the algorithm being used to assess A-level results is not fit for purpose, and you have 6 weeks at that point in proceedings in which to make amends, in which to make improvements, in which to change your mind, in which to make decisions. 6 weeks. What do you actually do all day? What does he do? Apart from sit there arranging whips on his desk and staring moodily into camera lenses while taking a manly swig of coffee. What does he actually do all day? So while I don't want to confine the entire conversation to jokey speculation, I will take your calls on that. What does he do all day? 0345 6060973. Do you know? Have you ever worked with him? I mean, how can you fill a day? Especially since Parliament's been in recess. How do you actually fill a day? It seems to me inconceivable that, considering and reflecting upon the contents of a letter from a former Director General of the Department for Education warning you that the algorithm being used to assess A-level results is a mess, it seems inconceivable to me that you can then actually go all the way to Thursday of last week, all the way to results day, without having even looked at it. And then, on Thursday, you come out defending the decision not to take any notice, essentially, of the warnings, and swearing blind that under no circumstances whatsoever will you be doing what they'd already done in Scotland and returning to the centre-assessed grades. Fast forward 3 or 4 days, 5 days, and they do precisely what they swore blind they wouldn't do. And still he sits in the Department for Education. Nick Gibb this morning, the schools minister, told Nick Ferrari that he'd thought long and hard about resigning. That's great, isn't it? That is the political equivalent of letting all these students grade their own exams. I've thought long and hard. So Keith, what grade do you think you deserve for your geography exam? Well, James, I've thought long and hard about it, and I have decided, after thinking long and hard about it, to give myself an A star. Are you any good at geography? That's not the point. I've thought long and hard about it. I've decided. Could you tell me what an oxbow lake is? I've no idea, but I've thought long and hard about it. I've given myself an A star. Zoe, your maths A level. Would you mind picking your own grade? It's another A star, lads. She's thought long and hard about it, though. She's decided to give herself an A star. So Nick Gibb has thought long and hard about it, and he's decided to give himself another crack of the whip as Minister for Education, Schools Minister, in a Department for Education that it is hard to imagine could have performed any worse over the last 2 weeks, even if it had been populated by Mr Spoon from Button Moon. So, what would you offer up as an explanation for the simple fact that these two clowns are still in their jobs?